Next, Sioux Falls police are investigating 2 overnight armed robberies.
Police are also trying to determine if a man found dead Wednesday in Sioux Falls was murdered.
South Dakota's flooding situation is improving. Iowa's is not. That story coming up. Good morning, everyone. Glad to see you. I'm Brian Allen.
And I'm Meagan Dorsch. This is Dakota First News Today.
Live news, unequaled local news coverage, all the latest stories. You're watching KSFY's Dakota First News Today.
And good morning from Dakota First News. Sioux Falls police this morning are in the process of investigating 2 late-night armed robberies. In both cases, convenience stores were the targets.
This brings the total number of convenience store armed robberies to 5 in just the last 10 days. A little after 2 this morning, this get-and-go on North Cliff Avenue was hit by a male suspect carrying a knife. After grabbing some cash, he ran away heading east. Last night, about 10:30, the shopping cart store on North Minnesota Avenue was hit by a male suspect with a knife. He got away on foot with cash. He fits roughly the same description as the get-and-go suspect. This past Wednesday, the shopping cart on West Avenue was hit. This time, the suspect had a knife with a blade at least 8 inches long. He, too, got away on foot with some money.
On April 25th, a robber targeted the food and fuel convenience store on West 41st Street. No weapon was used in this incident. The suspect did get away with some cash, though. The store surveillance tape did not help in identifying a suspect. And then one night earlier, on April 24th, a robber hit the TC Mini Mart on North Cliff Avenue. The suspect did not show a weapon, but grabbed money from the cashier and got away in a dark blue or black car. Now, there are several similarities between these robberies. The suspect is described as a male. In 3 cases, a knife was shown and a scarf was used to cover the suspect's face.
We've determined that the suspect in both those robberies is the same person. We feel that he's also responsible for the shopping cart robbery at 6th and West that was reported about a day and a half ago.
Now, if you have any information on any of these robberies, call Crime Stoppers 367-7007. Remember that all calls are confidential. Meanwhile, Sioux Falls police continue to investigate an early morning stabbing in the downtown area. Police responded to a domestic dispute call in the 100 block of North Dakota. They found a man suffering from a stab wound to the side of his head. He was taken to Avera McKinnon with injuries that were not life-threatening. Carol Tuttle has been charged in this case with aggravated domestic assault.
2 men accused in an April 17th murder are preparing to go to trial. Selvin Guerrera Sandoval and Roberto Martinez Alvala are charged in connection with the stabbing death of Magdaleno Tennis. Both are expected to appear in Minnehaha County Court Monday for a preliminary hearing. We know the cause of death this morning for a Sioux Falls man whose body was found Wednesday. Robert Pappenheim was found in the basement of his home in the 1000 block of North Minnesota. Minnehaha County Coroner Brad Randall says Pappenheim died of blunt trauma to the head, apparently falling down the stairs. That hasn't been determined, though, if the fall was an accident or not.
3 days after the fact, and escaped inmate Anthony Flowers remains at large this Friday morning. Flowers, as you'll recall, escaped from the Minnehaha County Jail after using a hacksaw to cut through window bars. Flowers is also accused of kidnapping Argus Leader employee Mary Carol Keeter and driving her car to Sioux City. Meanwhile, Jackson County, Minnesota authorities have arrested a man and charged him with making terrorist threats. The sheriff's department there says Vingvile Ratsakvansi of Alpha, Minnesota, is behind bars this morning, accused of threatening a fellow employee at the Ag Chem plant, which is located in the town of Jackson.
Damage assessments continued this morning for residents along Lake Ponset near Brookings. High winds this past weekend pushed waves of floodwater into lakeshore homes. The Mississippi River in Davenport, Iowa remains 5 feet above flood stage, but cleanup operations are underway in part of the downtown business district. City workers are also scooping mud out from the city's riverfront baseball park.
Mississippi River flooding isn't only affecting people, it's hurting wildlife as well. Much of the natural habitat in the area is underwater, so is much of the food that area birds need to survive. DNR officials expect the goose population in the Quad Cities to fall. The birds are literally starving to death. Well, central Iowa has been deluged this week with torrential rains. Sandbagging operations are underway in the town of Perry. The Raccoon River there is expected to crest tomorrow at 7 feet above flood stage, and more heavy rains are expected. And when you look at our situation, looks like we're going to get rain as well, just in time for the weekend.
Patrick, Mother Nature really has to work on her timing.
Well, we kind of alluded to that for a little later.
We'll keep that in mind. Thank you.